Hello, this is Pietro Di Leo, and I'm gonna show in this video my IRIS IO utility, which is a VS Code extension I've developed for the Bringing Ideas to Reality contest of December 2025, announced by the InterSystems developer community. If you want to read more information about this project, you can find them in these related articles that I published on the community and that are linked on the GitHub repository. You can find the link to the repo in the description of this video. Actually, this extension was developed based upon an idea of another user that was published on the ideas portal of the developer community, and the idea was to develop some kind of VS Code extension that will enable you to import data inside IRIS. Okay, so starting from a table like, I don't know, a CSV file, to be able to import that file on IRIS with a simple tool. I quite extended the idea, developing not just the import part, but also the export part. And so this IRIS IO utility actually is an extension that enables the user to import or export data from and to IRIS, that enables you to connect at the same time to multiple IRIS instances and to work with multiple file options like CSV, TXT file with custom delimiter, JSON or XLSX. And everything works with the ODBC connection, so it is pretty fast, and uses actually the InterSystems IRIS official drivers. Okay, so the first thing to do with the GitHub repository is to install the last release of the extension that can be found on the releases page. Okay, let's wait just a moment. Okay, so I can download the VS-AX file just by clicking on it. Okay, I can save it, and once it's been downloaded, I can install it on VS Code. It's quite simple to install the file because you have just to click on the extension, then install from VS-AX, and select your file. I've already installed mine, and as you can see, I have the v0.0.3. Once installed, you can find the extension here on the sidebar, and this is the welcome page of the extension. It is enabled with two different tabs, a connection tabs and a favorites tab. Actually, the connections tab is the main page, and you can add new connections here. Then you can choose your favorite connections, and then they will be automatically be put on the favorites tab, and everything you do on the favorites tab will be reflected on the connections tab. So the connection items are actually the same in both the tabs. Okay, the first thing here to do is to run the Docker image, okay, to test the extension. And let's just use the docker compose app command. What is the, oh, sorry. Probably I had already something like this. Okay, let's use it from here. Docker compose app. Okay. So let me show you briefly my Docker file. It's quite simple. I've just declared a new image that is based on the InterSystems IRIS Community 1, so the official InterSystems IRIS image. And I'm gonna start a container called IRIS IO utility, okay, mapping the super server port and the web server port to 1991 and 1992 of my local machine. Okay, so since I'm on Windows, I have a Docker desktop, and here you can see that the IRIS IO utility container has been started. So I can, for example, open the management portal here on 1992. These are default user and password. Okay, so the containers have been started. Okay, now let's use the extension to connect to an IRIS instance. I can click on Add New Connection or on the plus icon here. So let's define the Docker connection. When I click on Add New Connection, I'm gonna see a few input fields where I should put all my information about the instance I'm gonna connect to. So Docker localhost 1991 is the super server, 1992 web server, user namespace, system username, password, and then optional description like Docker test connection. Okay. So you can see here that a new connection item has been added inside the connections tab, and I can connect now to IRIS. I can edit connection. I can add to favorite my connection item or remove it, and I can delete the connection. When I hover to the connection item, I'm gonna see all the information about it, and then I can also right-click on it to copy connection info inside a JSON. This is useful, for example, if there is some kind of error and if I want to see what is the status of my connection item. Okay, let's try to connect. As you can see, the icon changed and the status is now connected and not anymore idle. If I try to, for example, declare a fake connection, like, I don't know, fake on localhost 1997, so I'm going to use ports that are not available in any instance of my machine. Okay, if I try to connect, I'm gonna see that an error is returned. And okay, as you can see, the icon changed. There is an error here, and I can also see in the output panel below the IRIS IO utility tab all the information about my error. Actually, this panel is quite useful if you want to see what is happening, okay, in the background of the extension. Okay, another thing that is important to do when you try to connect to the extension to IRIS with this extension is checking if you have the ODBC driver installed on your local machine. This is possible by clicking on the gear icon here on the connection settings, and you will see the IRIS connection settings page. Actually, the latest version of this extension automatically checks for an InterSystems IRIS driver and use it if available, without the explicitly needing for you to select the driver. Okay. Okay, so in this case, I have an InterSystems driver installed, but if there is no driver, you won't see this currently saved driver here. And in that case, you can download the driver from here. And in fact, if I check now, the extension tells me that I have ODBC driver installed. Otherwise, it will tell that there is no driver installed. So in this case, I have my driver, but otherwise I can put it here from the official InterSystems driver distribution page. Drivers, in fact, are not packaged inside the extension, but they must be downloaded from the official page, okay? Accordingly to your OS, of course. So I'm on Windows in this case, so I downloaded the Windows one. Okay, the page is this one. And okay, so as you can see, it's the official page that is linked here if you want. After a driver installed, however, you can choose what driver to be used if you have, I don't know, more than one, for example. Okay, but in this case, I have just one InterSystems IRIS driver, and I can save this. Okay. Please note that all the connections items that are saved here will be saved within the workspace information settings. So if you close the workspace and reopen it, you will find again your connection items. But if you change the workspace, you won't find them there anymore. And you will find the driver because the driver is automatically detected on your local machine, but you must redeclare the connection items. Okay. So in this case, once connected, I can see, sorry, once connected, I can see the two more icons here, the import tables and the export tables. In this video, I'm going to show you just the export table feature, and in the second part, I'm going to show the import table. Okay, about the export data web view that is opened once the export table icon is clicked, you will see that it is quite simple and intuitive. I can select a schema, then I can select the tables inside that schema, then I can select an export format. Formats available are CSV, TXT with custom delimiter, you can choose it, and JSON, XLSX. So if I want to choose schema, I can type some, for example, the beginning of the schema name, like cast in this case, and I will see just the schemas that begins with this word, or if I just click on search schemas, I'm gonna see all the schemas inside the namespace. Once schema is selected, I'm gonna select the table inside the schema that I want to export, and then finally the export format. I can choose a file name. If I don't choose any file name, it will be automatically created using this format. So schema underscore table underscore timestamp in the proper format. I can choose also the output folder. If I don't choose any output folder, the schema will be, the file will be saved inside my workspace folder. So in this case, export data, okay, you see that okay, I have a new file here. I can open folder or I can open file once I've downloaded it. Okay, so for example, open file. Note that with this particular kind of file that I preloaded on the IRIS instance, how can I say, the data that contains a comma, okay, are automatically written in this way, okay, with this format, with this character at the beginning and at the end, in order to prevent any misunderstanding of the CSV data. Okay. If I want to export, for example, TXT, I can choose a custom delimiter. I preloaded here three common custom delimiters that I quietly use often. For example, the pipe. You can choose a TXT pipe as name. Export data. Okay. I can open file. As you can see, it is here. Okay. And now I have my custom TXT file. This is quite useful, for example, for clients that requires a particular format of the TXT file. I can choose a folder if I don't want to save it on my workspace folder. Let's delete just these two. And if I use, I don't know, JSON, custom, export data, I can open the file. This is now in my download folder. Okay, as you can see, as a properly formatted JSON, and then XLSX. Okay. Export data, and in this case I can't open directly the file on VS Code because the XLSX format is not natively supported, but I can open folder here and just open my file. Okay, as you can see, the data has been exported into Excel format. That's really useful. Okay, this is pretty much everything for the first part of the video about this extension, and I'm gonna show you the import feature in the second part. Okay, goodbye.